not just a beauty channel, she built a midlife movement, because nobody usually tells women in our 40s that you don't need to reinvent yourself. I was thinking about this the other day, and I thought, when a 30-year-old gives advice on how to reinvent yourself, they have so many different rules and the way in which they do it. Being a woman in your 40s, you can't exactly be taking lessons from someone in their 30s on how to reinvent yourself. Yes, you can borrow their ideas, but the fact that you are in a different sphere in your life, a different phase, your emotions are hit differently. The way you think is totally different. Some of those advice may not necessarily hit, and we miss the point of reinvention, which is just that you need to simplify yourself. And that is exactly what this creator did. The twist here is that our success is not just about makeup. I went onto our page and I was thinking, this is not just about makeup. It is something much deeper than that. And because the real reason is hiding in plain sight, by the end of this video, I hope not to ramble on, but you'll see why midlife creators have an unfair advantage on YouTube. Now, most creators tend to think that growth comes with complexity. It comes from complexity and disorderliness, more editing, more trends, more personality, more everything that has to do with YouTube. But this creator did the opposite of it. Her promise is quite simple. And from my perspective, I think she's saying here is an easy way to look and feel so much better, and that's it. She doesn't bring in jargons, she has no perfection, and she's got absolutely no pressure whatsoever. But the key insight here is that midlife women, especially millennials, are so tired of complicated solutions, and that is why we can't stick to it. You can't stick to it if it has too many steps. You can't stick to it if it gives you the opportunity to come up with excuses. If you want to start YouTube, you just simply start. They don't want 20-step routines. You don't want 20-step routines. You want something that works. Well, tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow morning by the time you wake up. This is exactly what is not being taught by this creator. What she teaches is relief. She teaches you relief in midlife. And remember this, we're going to come back to it because I made a note for myself. She's not a beauty guru. Yes, she's an esthetician, but she's a girl's girl. When you listen and watch this creator, you can borrow from her energy. You notice something unusual. She doesn't talk down on her audience. She doesn't compete with them, and she doesn't try to impress. She talks like it's a friend, a conversation with a girlfriend, like the woman who tells you the truth in the bathroom mirror. You can basically see her because she looks and feels like a girl next door. And that matters more than you think, because a lot of midlife audiences don't follow experts. We follow people who are like us, people who are personable and human, people who feel safe. And safety is a growth strategy if we can offer that safety. When viewers feel safe, then they tend to stay longer. You can try this. She wasn't building views, she was building trust. Yes, given she's been on the platform for 7 years, trust can scale. If you look at her titles, they're not random, they're carefully crafted. Not everybody can do that. I couldn't do that, which is why you can see the growth of this channel. But the essence is that a lot of our titles and videos are around emotional triggers. Look and feel younger, feel confident about yourself, and fix it. It's something that nobody wants to talk about. She doesn't chase trends. She chases moments of insecurity that a lot of people tend to feel. There's the under eye creasing, there's the menopause changes, the body odor, the aging skin, the loneliness, the dating in 50s. They're not just beauty topics. These are identity topics, especially in midlife, when you think about it, because people don't just click to learn, they click to feel understood. They click to feel less alone. So, and remember what I said earlier about relief? This is where it comes back, because our videos promise emotional relief disguised as a beauty advice. So when you come in and you take a seat, she has welcomed you in, you feel safe, you feel like you've been heard, you've been understood. And that is why a lot of people tend to binge her content. Take a look at her growth. Something that nobody tells you also is that young creators tend to compete on creativity. We're not about that life. Midlife creators compete on credibility, on professionalism, on experience. This creator doesn't need viral edits. She doesn't need to go viral because she's got lived experiences. And lived experiences is quite rare on YouTube. Before you know it, people switch up on you. And that doesn't happen with midlife creators. When she says that as what actually works after 40, a lot of people will listen because they're in that age group. And it tends to flip the power dynamic in essence, because on YouTube, youth is usually very loud, but midlife is very believable. And believable content tends to travel far because it has substance behind it. If you take a look at her production style, she has long videos. Her vlog is around 59 minutes long. She has simple setup. There's minimal editing. Most creators tend to think that that is quite weak, but it's not. It's actually what she's using to grow because our audience don't want spectacle, sorry. They want conversation, and our videos feel like they're sitting across from a friend. Now, if you think about it, this creator doesn't optimize for algorithms. She may try, but she's optimized for endurance, just like you are. This channel is created for you to be able to build around passion, build for purpose, and build for possibility. It's a long road, not one where you're going to hit 1 million subscribers in 6 months' time. If you do, then great. If you don't, it's the fact that you simply just continue because you're documenting life. It feels easy. The niche is you. It's about peeling back the layers that has to do with you. So as we come back, endurance is how channels are built because we're not building around burnout. Now, there are thousands of beauty channels on the platform, and you can go and explore them. But why her? Because she's not selling beauty, she's selling permission. She's giving you permission to age, permission to change, and permission to still care about yourself after you've looked after everybody else. Those are the permissions in place for you too. Midlife women are not looking for transformation. No, you're looking for validation. And validation, not in the sense that you can't breathe after it's been given to you. It's a validation that loves and cares for you. One that wraps you up with so much care and tendency and understanding of the story that you have, what you've been through. And this creator gives that. Every video says that without saying it. You're not too late. And that message is quite addictive for you to go through. YouTube is saturated, given with a lot of young creators, but it's starving for midlife voices, people like you, people like me. You see, most platforms tend to ignore millennials or women in our 40s. So when one shows up with clarity, with warmth, she will stand out. And this creator didn't invent a niche. She simply stepped into a neglected audience that are not being served. And I think that's the real strategy, not finding a niche. Find a group that feels quite invisible, be there, speak directly to them. Yours could be as very narrow as you possibly want it to be. You have to remember the idea we started with, that you don't need to reinvent yourself, that you just need to simplify yourself. This creator proves this. She didn't become somebody new. She's still herself. She didn't have to borrow an alter ego. And paradoxically, that's what made her channel grow because people that would then see through the lenses for it. So the question isn't, can I start YouTube in midlife? The real question is, who needs your experience right now? Because somebody does, whatever it is you know you have going on, and they're waiting for your voice. If you're a woman over the age of 40, you're thinking about starting YouTube, don't copy this creator, copy her principle. Consume content with the eyes of a producer. When you go onto channels, take a look around, have a feel for people's channels. What exactly are they doing? What are they thinking about? If there's something that you want to do, then go for it. Don't build a channel outside of your life. Build a channel that feels inclusive of your life so that you don't, you remove the barriers to entry. You remove the excuses that you would usually give yourself or come up with, and just go for it. You need simple content, you need real life experience. You need human connection. And if you want more case studies like this, feel free to join the community. Have a look around the videos that I have created. They're not overly produced. They're not expertly produced. They're not professionally produced. They're just me sharing with the world that women over the age of 40, you can thrive. And in thriving, you can build a channel, a creative life outside of work, outside of your 9 to 5. Even if you love your 9 to 5, you should still have a life outside of 9 to 5. And I think having a creative hobby helps a lot with that. You become a whole self, you become unstoppable, you become creative, you're able to explore other personalities of yourself. You're able to peel back the layers that you don't quite know are there, but also you become much more resilient. You you become more passionate about topics that are really close to your heart. And if you enjoyed this video, I will see you in the next one. There are other videos that you can watch as well. The niche is really you. You don't have to go hunting for niches.